Joining me now to talk more about this case in studio, attorney Doug Chanco, and in New York, trial attorney Corey Stern. Welcome to both of you. Corey, I want to go to you first. The cross-examination that Mimi Haleh had to endure yesterday was about as aggressive as it gets. Give people a sense of what she endured. When you have a team of attorneys and an aggressive cross, it's pretty difficult, isn't it, to withstand?
It's very difficult, and it's extremely difficult to prepare for. No matter how many times the prosecution or other attorneys sat with her in a room and attempted to prepare her for what she was going to experience, you really can't in a meaningful way, because every defense lawyer, especially one of the caliber that Mr. Weinstein's attorney is, it just makes it very, very difficult. And a good cross-examination is going to make you doubt your story. It's going to make you go back in time to places where you really can't remember. It's going to make you wonder if you've said things that you ought not have said, or said things that were inconsistent. And it's like being in the clouds. And he did a really effective job at that.
Doug, it's like kind of the Twilight Zone effect, where he caught the witness up on a story that she told the grand jury about an article, and lo and behold, the article was written the day after she said it was. It's these little things that she got caught up on. It's very common to happen. What's the net effect? Do jurors turn on witnesses because of this, or do they push that aside as being a sideshow?
Absolutely not. Jurors really want to help victims of a crime. This is a horrific thing to have to testify to, and they get that. They're seeing the emotion that it's taking such a toll, and they want to help any way they can. Yeah, it's a big deal when you have inconsistencies, no question about it. But if it's a detail of, did it happen the day before or the day after, they'll let that pass by.
Yeah, well, maybe, maybe not. Corey, some of the other issues, of course, that were brought out, we're going to see again being replayed with the Molyneux witness, and that is this idea of a continued relationship with Weinstein. The first major witness in this case, Annabella Sciorra, there wasn't the imprint, there wasn't the digital footprint left behind of a continuing relationship. But with all of these other witnesses, you have emails, you have evidence that there was a back and forth following the alleged rape or assault. How detrimental to the state is that evidence in looking towards a possible conviction?
I think beyond all of the inconsistencies, whether it's about dates of newspapers or journals or any other inconsistency that may be minor, the biggest thing that the prosecution is going to have to deal with at this point is the fact that she went back to his apartment, within a short period of time after alleging now that he had raped her. It's going to be very, very difficult for at least some jurors to juxtapose her description of the experience that she previously had, where he performed oral sex on her and removed her tampon, and she cried and said no, 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 to the woman who a week or 10 days later is getting into a private vehicle with the driver and going to his Soho apartment, not knowing and probably thinking that he will be there by himself. It's very hard to understand why someone would put themselves in a second position when the first position had such a major impact on their life.
Doug, isn't it complicated, though, the victims of sexual assault, where it's just not black and white, and when you are dealing with Hollywood, you're dealing with job opportunities, lifeline. There's a woman that needed work, needed the money, and he was an opportunity. Isn't that part of the equation?
It absolutely is a part of the equation. But it's not as simple as just, hey, I need this job. I guarantee you that in the back of her mind, from everything we've heard, she had a lot of self-doubt at the time when she goes back a second opportunity. Maybe I won't have to endure anything. Maybe this will just be about work. She's over there trying to compensate, trying to say to herself, it won't happen again, because of the reasons you're talking about wanting to be able to continue her career. That's a tough position to be put in.
Right, yeah, that was bad, but maybe he got it out of his system, or was he's not as a monster at all. Yeah, it's very complicated. Bottom line is, this is a complicated case for this jury to have to decipher, and it continues this morning. All right, coming up, Court TV's continued gavel-to-gavel coverage of New York versus Harvey Weinstein, a new witness on the stand as we speak. We're waiting for an update out of the courtroom, that and much more as we roll on. You're watching Court TV, your front row seat to justice.